Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Remember when you're done listening here to check out Whitney's The Reclaimed podcast. Again, that's The Reclaimed podcast by my illustrious co-host Whitney. You can get it wherever you prefer to get your podcast. Thank you, and let's get started. And here we are. Welcome back to the Problematic Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Whitney.
Hey.
How are you? How was your weekend?
Good. Just surviving and thriving through the pandemonium, the panini, and the personal pan pizza.
Not the Peter Pan. Still outside, still thriving and gaining strength. I think the pandemic is definitely praying harder than we are because it's still here.
Listen, just hang it out, just like sitting on a balcony having mimosas.
Our homeless cousin who won't tell us that they homeless, but keep spending the night on our couch, even on weekdays. Why are you still here, cuz?
Wow, you connected to someone's real life story. Like they're sitting here right now listening to this podcast and their eyes just glance
like,
over.
Wait a damn minute now. Yeah, Ray's still there because he don't have nowhere else to go. Just write that down. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. What have you been listening to? What's gonna get you through the week?
Girl, I have been negligent in listening to things as usual. But I've been reading.
Okay, well,
I have been reading.
What we've been reading here.
It's called Black Joy.
Okay.
It's by a wonderful author and friend of the pod, Tracy Lewis Geddes, and she's so dope. She wrote 36 essays that all encapsulate Black joy as liberation, because it's kind of trauma porny out here.
Yes, very. I'm tired of it.
The black pain, the black ache remind me to talk to you about women of the movement. The Emmett Till story situation that we've been watching for the last 3 weeks remind me to talk about that a little later.
Okay.
But this is just it's so black and it's so joyful, and I can't really describe it any other way, but it's so incredibly well written, and I'm really, really excited for her. So Tracy, if you're listening, hi. Your book is awesome. Friend of the pod. How about you? What's going on in your world?
Okay, so I haven't been reading this week or this weekend, which is actually kind of a change of pace. I go through like this binge where like I'll read like 3 books in 2 weeks and then I won't touch a book for like a month. But I have been listening to music. So a fave of mine, Big Crit, released a single called So Cool this past Friday, and I really enjoy it. I know he's got an album coming out very soon, which excites me because his 2019 album was like, it's still heavy in my rotation. Hip hop music comes and goes so quickly. So yeah.
Crit.
Yes. Crit is like a fave.
Spell it for me.
Oh, Krit.
Okay, because I was going to have a rap name and I was going to be Little Crit, and it was going to be little spelled normally, and Crit was going to be spelled CRT.
No, I don't. You're gonna have to give me the story.
Critical race theory.
Oh my. Okay. You know what?
Because that's gonna be my alias. Little Crit.
Little Crit. I'm here for Whitney's rap name. So when we drop our mixtape, everybody, it's gonna be really Rita and Little Crit. Little Critical Race Theory. I cannot. Oh my God. Yeah, Big Crit's so cool. I like the single. It's like really jazz / funk. Like if James Brown did hip hop, he would definitely really appreciate the production on this song. But it's like a really cool song. And also, I've been trying to work out recently, like everybody else in the new year, but primarily because I have a wedding tux to fit into this summer.
Yeah, you do.
I've been trying to put together like a essential gym playlist, just hoping that something motivates me to not die on the treadmill. So there is this song by Mr. Meek Mill, and it's an outro featuring Lil Snoop. That's the name of the song. If you're looking for the song, it's Outro featuring Lil Snoop. And when I say this song could get you through the final mile of a marathon, I am not kidding. It's something about the ferocity and the way this little boy, Lil Snoop, was a rapper. Unfortunately, he was murdered, and but he was like on the come up at the time under Meek Mill and showed a lot of talent and had a lot of rap battles and was really, really talented. But the way he raps on this outro, like this first verse, I feel all of the pain that I never experienced and the desperation that these rappers try to communicate to trap stars, of which I have never been. But yeah, when I say it can get you through the final mile of a marathon, it can get you through that last set. I really love this song. There's something weird happens and French Montana comes on at the end of the song. But by the time I get to that part, I'm changing the song. But if you need 1 minute and 47 seconds of motivation, outro, Meek Mill, Lil Snoop, it'll get you there. That's what I've been listening to help me not die on a treadmill this week. So Big Crit, Meek Mill. Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's been a pretty good week. It's been a very messy weekend. We can go ahead and get right into the problematic awards, of which there are so many. So would you like to start or would you like me to start?
After you, because I feel like I start all the time. So after you.
So I was gonna go with Jamie Lynn Spears, who has been
sister. What is happening?
Listen,
over there?
It's like you could just make a film on how awful of awful sister. She epitomized it. But we're not. I'm not even gonna touch that in this moment because I just happened to open up my phone and saw a Mitch McConnell tweet. Not a tweet. I'm sorry. It was a tweet.
Girl, you picked my person.
Listen. About it. Okay, so somebody, of course, stuck a mic in Mitch McConnell, senator from, I believe, is it Kentucky? Where the hell is that man from?
One of them flyovers.
Yeah, one of them states that's not a real state. Mitch McConnell. Somebody put a mic in his face asking about, voter suppression and voter rights with the upcoming elections. Because, currently 19 states have passed laws restricting voter rights, which disproportionately impact African Americans and Black and brown people and poor people. Always, of course. Always. And
disabled people, old people.
So when asked to comment on how this would impact African American voters, this man, like, I want to find the exact quote because
I have it.
Okay, go for it. Go ahead. I should have been.
Well, I said this was my person.
Go ahead.
I prepared notes.
Oh, she got notes. Let's get into it.
So he was asked about how people of color, specifically, not Black people, he was asked how should people of color be concerned because the John Lewis Voting Rights Act has not been passed. And he called it fake hysteria. And he says, well, the concern is misplaced because if you look at the statistics, African-American voters are voting just as high rates, a percentage as Americans.
As if.
Wait, let's break it down. So let's break it down. Let's break it down. But no, we're going to do this together. This is tag team effort.
Listen here. Continue. Let me just start by saying, you ever read something so stupid that you actually become dumb for a millisecond? Because I thought I was having a seizure. I'm like, after reading this, I now stutter because what are you even saying? In one moment, you call us African Americans, but then you suggest that we are somehow not Americans because we're African Americans. We don't need to worry about African Americans because, for the most part, they kind of vote like Americans.
Americans.
That's what we are. At least I thought. Are we not? I don't know anymore.
We built this shit for free. I feel as though.
Right.
I feel as though if anybody's American, it is us. So let's break this down. So the question from the floor was about people of color. That includes Black people, that includes Latinx people, that includes Asian people, that includes Arabic people, that includes everybody, indigenous folks,
all the
everybody,
peoples.
Everybody who's not white, everybody who's not white, which I guess white is the default, which That sucks when you think about how the globe looks, not just the
Right.
country. When you look at the globe,
Yeah, because the
white
globe's default is not white. But continue.
surely is not white. But the question was about people of color specifically. Mitch did not understand assignment because let me tell you,
Mitch missed the whole.
Where were we at? Where were we at?
Mitch was like, we're calling them Americans now. I'm not so prepared to call them Americans. They're kind of like Americans. He went straight back to the 5/8 a person, the 3/5 a person rule. We don't even get to be people no more. We're not Americans. We're just here.
Addison Mitchell McConnell. Sir. You stuck your foot. So it was telling. It was such a telling moment because it's like, of course you feel that way. That's why you vote the way you do. That's why
tell us we're not citizens without telling us we're not citizens. Tell us we're not Americans without telling us we're not Americans. Tell us you think less of us without telling us, hey, I think less of you.
Precisely. It's really, really frustrating. Well, it's not frustrating. It's very, very telling. I think the frustrating part is like seeing all this backlash and people like saying, oh, they're putting up pictures of themselves online, say, oh, I'm an American, which I don't have a problem with, but it feels unnecessary because like, of course we are.
Why am I proving to you niggas that I'm American?
That part.
Why?
My people probably been here longer than yours.
My ancestors have been on this continent longer than yours. So like 200, 300 years before y'all got here through Ellis Island and all those other places.
And let's not talk about the indigenous folks who literally lived here for thousands of years before your smallpox having ass.
Oh my God, not the blankets, not the Columbus blankets. Listen, I will not get online. And you know what? People are allowed to use their platforms however the hell they want. But what my black ass is not fitting to do on Al Gore's internet is get online and prove to any of y'all that my black ass is American. First off, American wouldn't have been my first choice, but here I am because I definitely believe that I somehow was misplaced because I'm supposed to be a Bahamian on an island right now with access to 24-hour beaches. Here I am on these.
I feel like Ghana
would have where I was when y'all came and fucking got me.
Any one of those beautiful 54.
Listen. Could have left me where the hell I was at.
I could be brown.
Could have left me the hell alone.
Have you heard that TikTok song? I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky. That reminded me of that moment right there. Shout out to the listeners who heard that song before because they get it. But you think I'm this light by choice?
Yeah, you is pretty light.
Consent?
I don't. Not consent.
Do you think this was consent?
Jesus. No, nothing about your light skinnedness looks consensual. This is not consensual light skin.
No, none of this is consensual. No, not at all. And it's just people keep saying that he said the quiet part out loud, and I want to combat at that because it's like the way he votes says the loud part.
That's the loud part.
The way that whole party conducts themselves.
The way the legislature looks right now. Yes.
The loud part. It's loud.
That's the loud part.
It's loud.
I want to believe in the Republic so bad, mainly because it's the Republic that was dealt to me. I don't really have another choice. It's what I got to work with. Because again, I came here as cargo. So here I am making the best out of it.
Literally an import.
I am an import.
We are imported.
I am an, God damn it.
Don't you make that
damn
merch.
Merch.
Don't you make that
write that down. No. I'm an import. You're an import.
We are all imports.
It's like you play in our face by taking away our vote. And we already know you don't have to go around and tell us, your vote matters, your vote matters, your vote matters. The way these people play at taking it away tells you everything you need to know.
Talk about
19 states won't legislate for something that doesn't matter. I promise you that. These people don't fly to DC to take these votes to take something away from you if it wasn't important. But can you not be racist on TV? Like,
wait, It gets better. Can I make it better? Can I put a little icing on this shit cake that we're having?
Go for it.
What happened this Monday was Martin Luther King Day. And y'all were all sitting around talk about how he was this great American and this is what he thought and this is what he believed. Mind you, Dr. King was fighting for voting rights as well.
Right.
Voting rights as well. So you're sitting here quoting him on Monday and then taking the rights of his people on Wednesday. What the hell?
It just America. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep minding my import ass business because clearly I can't make no sense of it. Like the man said it out loud. Like now I gotta sit and listen to my brethren and my cousin tell me that they're Americans and try and prove it to me. Man, don't take no pictures.
I feel bad because like they mean that shit.
They do, but don't get online and post pictures of your birth certificate. We know you belong here.
Putting their babies up, talk about we American and stuff like that. And I'm like, y'all, we have shit to prove, okay? We have nothing to prove. We built this bitch.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have it if it weren't for us.
Right.
Stolen people on stolen land. Don't get me started.
Well, you know, Mitch McConnell made that very clear. He wants you stolen people to keep to keep the Americans' names out your mouth.
Apparently
know your place. Because clearly we're not American. You know what? Fine. Call me something else then. I'm actually okay with going under the brand import. I'm going under the brand of import. If Mitch McConnell don't want me to be an American, he could have just said that. I'll be an import. I don't care.
There's a few other places I would rather live.
I mean, there are absolutely a few other places I'd rather live. Some of these places aren't even that far. But again, you know, this is the republic they dealt me. I was trying to do my best, but this guy said I'm not one of them. Okay.
Living in abundance on the continent, and here y'all come.
It's giving me 1958. It really is
65,
like poll 64. Tax and counting jelly beans in jars to vote. That's what it's giving me.
Yeah, no, we're not. Shit. What do we have to do? Wait for them all to die out before, like the dinosaurs, before we like actually get like some progress? Or are we going to literally actually vote them out? Like, what are we going to do?
Well, I mean, they just made it twice as hard. So expect long lines at the polls. But
you better show up.
Purges, but please show up because like I said, you might feel like your one vote doesn't matter. And I know people have heard this 1,000 times. And I know Black people are sick of hearing it because honestly, I'm getting to the point where I am sick of saying it. But nobody strips you of something that's not important to you. Nobody comes and tries to legislate taking something from you that doesn't matter. So that right there should tell you that they know the numbers aren't in their favor and they actually know what our demographic in particular is capable of when they do
Black
vote.
Women.
Exactly.
Especially Black women.
Exactly. And now you had one woman, and I'm not trying to make this whole podcast about politics on this particular episode, but I will say this. You had one woman by the name of Stacey Abrams flip
the queen, the doll, the living legend.
One deeply red state blue.
And y'all pooped yourself.
One woman mobilized an entire state after she realized that a machine was stacked against her. And she was like, okay, I'll give you that W. Y'all take this governorship. You won that one. I am going to flip this state. And she did.
She did.
Do you realize how terrifying that is? Stacey's
revenge.
Merch.
I live for it because it's like, it's giving me Game of Thrones. It's giving me.
Right.
It's giving me Succession. It's giving me the writers, whoever wrote that part of that was 2021 when that happened. 2020. Lord, all the pandemic years are the same.
Are all running in. This is one long ass 2020. We are still in 2020.
2020 part 2. Oh my God, it's so long. I'm ready for the series to be over. But yeah, no, whoever wrote that part of the series deserves awards, right? Because to watch that happen was astounding.
She was like a real life Olivia Pope, and I was here for it.
She said it's been handled.
Yeah. Can y'all please? I mean, again, I'm tired of saying it, but please go out and vote because clearly we're not even Americans this week. Maybe if we vote, maybe they'll say other shit that doesn't sound as dumb. But
we can get them out. and then they could say stuff from their homes.
Mitch McConnell is clearly glitching at this point and timing out and running out of cell phone minutes. His nights and weekends are being cut as we speak. You should retire, sir. You need to just move out the way. You don't have to wait till the end of your term. You can just say, you know what? I'm not coming in tomorrow. Assign another asshole from your state to take over your job for the next few months.
Because there's plenty, I'm sure.
Out the way. Move.
Move, Mitch. Get out the way.
Please.
Get out the way, Mitch. Get out the way.
Man, that's going on my mixtape. That is going. Yes. No. Little Crit and Rita are about to
talking anymore. I'm not going to say anything else.
You're going to be on my mixtape. I don't see why you keep resisting
spending the rest of this episode on you.
Oh, well, that's not nice. So I'm not
doing that.
Mitch McConnell is garbage. Jamie Lynn Spears is also garbage. Who else you got? You had quite a list there.
I don't mean to keep it at politics, but
go off.
So this week, and I'm reading from Newsweek, Governor Ron DeSantis who is currently attempting to ban critical race theory in Florida, which is not, side note, that's not what's being taught to your kids in school. Your kids, unless they are in higher levels of law school, have never seen or heard of critical race theory. I promise you that. What your kids are learning are diversity, equity, and inclusion, which any good human being should want, unless you're a monster of white supremacy, which you probably are if you're fighting against it. Moving along. He is moving forward with a law that would make it illegal for schools and private businesses to make people feel guilt about this country's racist past. Literally putting into law white feelings. Now, I have a story that I would like to share about this here friendship between me and Rita, right? We were at a ministry function, and it was my first time even meeting her. And she was all the way across the room, and I remember we were separated by tables, but she was over there, and we were doing like intros or something like that. I don't even remember what was happening, but she said she was making mixed drinks out of white tears. And I looked up from my notebook.
I said that,
and the light came on over her, and God himself parted the clouds and said, "Here is a new friend. Here is a new friend for you." And I looked up and I said, "Thank you, God. I'm grateful for this friend."
You are so dramatic. You are so dramatic. But I meant it.
What did I say? After you said that? I said, "Oh,
we're friends.
You're my friend now."
Yes, you did. You did. And we've been friends ever since. And I meant it. I'm still making mixed drinks out of white tears, because some of the shit y'all crying over is not real stuff. First off, like Whitney said, critical race theory is not what is being taught to your children. Your children, your very small children, are not being taught that, because it's very heavy content and very heavy material. And it deep dives into so many things, from economics to law, psychology. There's so many things that go into critical race theory. I promise you that's not what they're pushing in your third grade class. What they're trying to teach is more accurate American history. And it hurts. Okay. At some point we have to address the fact that, like, I need to know why telling the truth keeps hurting white people's why does that keep hurting your feelings? Why?
I just said my very skin color is based in something that is not consent. And
that hurts
your feelings.
Their feelings.
Because of that. Talk to my great grandmother.
I don't understand why I have to care about that. And I don't understand. Well, first off, Florida is not a real place. Florida is on the list with Alabama, Utah, West Virginia,
Mississippi,
and my book of not real places, because these places are so weird and backwards and sideways that I'm convinced they're like the Bermuda Triangle of sense and intelligence. Like, it's where things go to die and disappear. All intellect just out the window there. What is it about the truth of your ancestors that hurts your feelings so much, that gets you feeling so nasty inside? And why? Go ahead. I'm here. I'm listening, because
here's my
it's like a real thing. Like, this is
my theory. My theory is and this is me looking from the lens of a Black person who has grown up in this country, who has lineage of multiple generations in this country. They have been taught that they've been the heroes of every story. They were the great settlers. They were the great conquerors. They were were the underdogs that fought against tyranny and with you Great Britain and stuff like that. They were always taught to be the heroes of their story. Their faces are on the money. Whenever we look at medical books, we always see their skin tones as opposed to ours. They've been the standard. They've been the default. Like I said, they have been the heroes of their story. So to hear other perspectives that say, hey, actually, you've been the villain.
You motherfuckers have been Thanos, the Joker,
but across the globe,
Riddler.
Not just here. Everywhere y'all went, y'all became the villains. Literally, culture was chilling, and then white people.
Thanos.
Everywhere.
Your ancestors, Thanos. Everywhere they went, half the population disappeared.
Usually because of sickness, because they were filthy. I just want to put that out there because I keep getting comments in my social media. Well, it must suck to be conquered. I said the only reason why our people got conquered is not because you had military prowess, because the Native Americans were giving you the business. And if we talk about certain cultures on the continent of Africa that have never been conquered, they were giving y'all the business too. You want to know how it happened? Because people were friendly with y'all. You got a little too close and you were fucking dirty. That's why. I mean,
we can account the specific century and time where Europe received soap. So I'm not arguing with
these. The blacks bring that too?
Yes, the Moors introduced it. I'm not going back and forth with, if I can document down to the moment when y'all started practicing hygiene, I'm not doing this. Your ancestors were Thanos and it's gross. And if that bothers you, then I don't know, argue about it over Thanksgiving dinner. But what you can't do is rewrite history or say we can't talk about it because it hurts people's feelings. It should hurt people's feelings. It should hurt their feelings enough for them not to do that shit again.
I don't care about your feelings.
Right.
I care about my kid's life. Because here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead. Oh,
I'm sorry.
No,
here's the thing. There's y'all are not conducive. Y'all don't just innately have compassion. So you have to learn these different stories, because if you don't, you think that we're sitting around complaining. You call us whiners. You call us complaining. You say, stop bringing up slavery as if, 400 years of oppression, of being an import, of having your children sold from your arms, of having our bodies swinging from trees, or having our limbs taken from us, having our very teeth ripped from our gums to make dentures. I heard a terrible story of a slave girl. She had like really, really beautiful eyes, and the slave owner, he kept raping her, and the mistress got really jealous, and so she blinded her to get back at him.
This is
shit like that, and you tell us to get over it.
You're not allowed to talk about
epigenetically, the whole thing about epigenetics is, one generation experienced something, and then the next generation we kind of have like the memory of it in our DNA.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So epigenetically, we have 400 years of this shit in us, and you're telling us to get over it. Meanwhile, it's just like your uncle who keeps touching people. It's never been addressed. And so y'all just say, stay away from Uncle so-and-so.
No.
Kick that bastard out.
Shoot that motherfucker in the face. Why does he still have a face? This man should no longer have a face.
Do you see where we're going, guys? Address the issue. Y'all don't even address the issue.
So then other touchy-handsy people be like, maybe I won't because I want a face. I don't know.
That part.
I'm just a shot.
That part.
It's getting annoying at this point because...
So it's a feelings law, basically.
Right.
It's based on white feelings.
It is. And if we have to take their feelings into account, then you absolutely have to take our feelings into account. And what you're not allowed to do is whitewash our history and whitewash what we've experienced. I heard a quote in a movie, and I can't get the quote right just now, but it stayed with me. I heard this a few days ago and it stayed with me, and I'm going to get the name of the movie and I'll share it in the notes. But the quote was, A young man was at Harvard with his roommate, who was a black guy in like, I don't know, the 70s or 80s, and an Asian roommate. And he was like experiencing some major what's it called? There's a name for it. Imposter syndrome. And the black kid, who I think's name was Jim, I don't remember. He was like the kid who was experiencing the imposter syndrome basically said, I just got in because I'm lucky. I'm only here because I'm lucky. I'm only at Harvard because I'm lucky. And the black kid was like, we are all lucky when you think about it. Particular because in order for us to be here, our grandparents, great grandparents, all of our ancestors had to survive harsh climate conditions, harsh pandemics, all of these things that culminate to say that if you're still here when millions of other people were being wiped out by plagues and I don't know, the transatlantic slave movement, or like it says something for particularly for African Americans to be here and on this continent and still surviving, because that says what we endured on top of everything else that comes through history. Like, yeah, we are lucky, and what you're saying is our history and our testament to our strength doesn't matter, and what we endured doesn't matter, and what we fought for and what we had to fight against, those things that hurt your feelings don't matter. And that's not okay. If we are the lucky ones, lucky enough to be here and to be intellectuals and to be able to share the profound impacts of 400 years of enslavement, then we need to be able to talk about it. We need to be able to have a conversation about it.
All of it.
What? Why
all
is it? Anyway.
I promise we're going to change. I promise we're going to
change. We're moving on to other things.
I promise we will. I just one more thought with laws like this. And I tweeted something about it was a separate issue, but it ties into this. I tweeted something after all these articles came out about how parents, and I put parents in quotation, parents feel about their kids learning certain history and certain things like that. And I was like, it's very, very interesting because you guys say parents, and I only see white people here. When do the Black parents get asked how we feel about what our children are learning, what our children are ingesting at school, how our children's feelings are hurt, how our children's mindsets are hurt? When do we get to talk about the children that commit, the Black children that commit suicide from your racism? Because there's been so many of those. When do we get laws made about our feelings? We have to get laws made to protect us from getting fired for our hair. Right. When do we get to talk about that?
We don't.
I'm just saying.
Well, you see, Mitch McConnell don't even want us talking about our right to vote. So,
well, if his face, if I had a face sliding off of my skull too, I might feel away about all these beautiful Black folk.
Mitch McConnell's face is experiencing a different type of gravity than his skull. And that's why his face is slumping the way that it is. His face is 2 inches south of the rest of his skull because
it's hanging down by his nipples. This is weird.
Because he's not a human being. He is something completely different. But we are going to move on.
What happens with inbreeding? Anyway, go ahead.
That part. But moving on, we are going to go to something serious but also light. Another thing that was in the news over the weekend, I kept seeing posts about Sha'Carri Richardson, the one-time Olympic competitor who she lost her opportunity at the Olympics because she failed a drug test. We all know the circumstances under which she failed the drug test, but there were rumors coming out about her participating in Celebrity Big Brother. Now, along with those rumors, it proved to be untrue. She's not going to be on the cast of Celebrity Big Brother. Thank
because I was looking, I'm like scrolling, I'm like, wait a minute.
But what has been revealed that she does have an upcoming short documentary coming out at Sundance. It was produced by the late great Virgil Abloh, and I'm really looking forward to the documentary.
I want to see it.
It's a short, but I love shorts, and I'm sure it'll be it'll be a few weeks before we even get access to it, but I am looking forward to it, and I am rooting for Sha'Carri because I'm rooting for everybody Black, and I'm rooting for all of the Black girls. But that takes me into my next point of where it got messy on the interwebs, because y'all know y'all get on Al Gore and Blue Ivy's internet and say the nastiest things about people. So there was a tiff between the Jamaicans and Sha'Carri. Now, as you know, the Jamaicans competed at the Olympics. They won. They did very well, cleaned up gold, silver, bronze.
As they should have.
But with Sha'Carri trending this week, of course, a lot of people pointed out that there was a time when everybody was celebrating the Jamaican runners, where if there was something nasty said about one of the runners, Sha'Carri was liking things on Twitter.
It was her.
And people were like, that's kind of nasty, girl. Like, you can be a competitor, but you don't have to, endorse people calling these women ugly or unattractive or any of those things. So, of course,
none of those things have anything to do with their capability of running. And are we children? Were we like, yeah, you won the Olympics, but you're ugly? Like, what the hell?
Okay, right. Okay, so here's my thing, because I try not to go on any platform and down a Black woman. That's one. I wanted Sha'Carri to be in the Olympics. I was devastated when I found out that she couldn't compete. I was not willing to say nasty things about her, or say that she was less worthy of all of the things she received as being a potential Olympic hopeful. I mean, she worked, she trained, she had a bad day, she made a bad decision. We all make bad decisions. That one was hers. And of course, people came out and was like, she doesn't deserve, and she's a crackhead. Like, all of these awful things y'all had to say. Horrible things. But on the flip side of that, like, I support her. I want her to run again. Yes, she came in last place. And I mean, people did a complete 180. We were like, yeah, go Sha'Carri too.
And then it was just like,
her career's over. Like, the girl won one bad race after not being allowed to train and compete the way that she wanted to. But also, you don't have to be ugly to people who are doing, like, these are also Black women like you, whether they are from an island or from the place where we're not even Americans this week, according to Mitch McConnell. We talking one ship stop on the transatlantic bus route.
Listen,
there's absolutely no reason to make ugly remarks, or like, the shady thing that people do now where it's like they won't say the comment, but they'll like the comment on Instagram or Twitter. Girl, we know that's you. And that's so unnecessary. And I'm so troubled by this, because I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, I just want this girl to come back and be like, yeah, I did this and I came back from this, because everybody loves a comeback story.
Yes.
But girl,
we do.
We are definitely siding with the Jamaican girls, because as a Black American 100%. Woman, I say that with quotation marks because what Mitch said, I want to see girls who look like me win the Olympics, whether it's Sha'Carri or Elaine, or whether they are from Ghana or Jamaica or the Bahamas. I'm rooting for everybody who's Black. Her not doing it is one thing. You calling them names, calling them ugly, like, please don't.
Very childish. Very childish.
And of course, it's spinning now because they released like trailers for her short, and I'm like, some of the flack she gets for that kind of, like, it's the off the track stuff. I would not have a Twitter if I was trying to do a track comeback. I wouldn't.
No.
You're in a short circumstance where, like, the Olympics are right around the corner again because we had to push him back a year. Like, I would be training my ass off.
Get up.
Like, you're still young. What Flojo set that record at, what, 28, 29? Like, you still got years. You've got everything in your favor to come back and have all of the stories be positive, and you are just giving nastiness on the internet, sis.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm not a fan.
I want to know who's advising her. I wonder who's in her corner, because we all need a good auntie. I have a theory that everybody needs a good auntie, good big mama, good Mrs. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, who can grab you by the nape.
Right. Where the kitchen, right below the kitchen.
Right, where if they grab it, if they grab it right, your eyes instantly water. Yes. Yeah, we all need somebody like that. Like, get the off the phone. We all need just one.
Tighten up. Yes. Tighten up.
Who's advising you? Like, sweetheart.
I really want Sha'Carri to have the auntie that we all deserve, that all little Black girls deserve, to be like, girl, stop playing with them folks on the internet and get back on the track because you run fast. That's what you do. You have beautiful, colorful hair and you run fast. That's your job. Going back and forth with girls on the internet about what the Jamaican girls are doing, that's your competition. Keep it that way. You tell yourself whatever in your head you need to tell yourself to train, but tweeting is not going to get your time down.
No, girl.
Tighten up. Mm-hmm. Whitney, you need to go advise her. You need to go be the auntie.
No.
What is Sha'Carri, like 21, 22? You the auntie. Whitney, you're the auntie.
I can't be the cousin?
No.
Am I old?
No, you're not old, but you are a mom.
Babysit her, but I'm not like a mom. You're not. Shout out to the teen moms. That's not. No,
but you the auntie.
I can't accept this. All right, fine.
You gotta be that. It's not like old.
I can't be a big cousin.
You can be, but
I'm still a junior level auntie. I haven't embraced my auntiness yet.
I think auntie is better. I think she'll listen better.
I am wearing house shoes at the moment.
But girl, stop playing in my goddamn face. You are auntie. You got on a wrap cardigan and slides.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're fuzzy slippers, y'all. She's showing me.
It's very comfy.
Fix it all.
I do have leggings on though, so I'm very millennial.
Okay, I mean, you can be the cousin auntie.
Oh, jeez.
You know, Black people have cousin aunties.
Yeah,
it's your cousin, but it's your auntie. It's your auntie, but it's your cousin.
Yeah, it's just a little too old to call like by the first name.
Right.
That person.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. That's a respect thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs some wisdom and some guidance because I am concerned. Like, girl, I don't want to get on the internet and see the Jamaicans calling you names because you was not being nice.
Like, and it's so easy. It's so easy to shut up or mind your business. And I'm not telling her to shut up and dribble by any stretch. I'm not saying that because that's Laura Ingraham and she's a nightmare. But what I am saying, she's a Nazi Barbie. What I am saying, and Barbie is very, very kind. She's probably aging like a banana too. What I am saying is that she just, you just need to, you need the focus. Like the difference between you and the Jamaicans, well, in that one race, you could see where she gave up.
Yeah, I mean, when you see everybody in front of you at closing towards the end of the race, you're not pushing yourself as somebody
where you gave up,
who ran track 100 years ago. Like when everybody is in front of you, it's not the motivation that you need at the end of a race.
Cream truck, okay, I ran for the ice cream truck. I was not running to save my life and running for ice cream. That was my running.
What I was going to say, what I can also say, and what I think anybody who's ever been an athlete, even for a very small amount of time, saw in that race is like an incredible lack of focus impacts your body. So if you're dealing with press and not training, you're not eating what you usually eat. You're not getting up at the time you usually eat to train, to practice, to lift, to run. Any fluctuation to your schedule at that elite level is going to impact how you run. And anybody can see it. It looks like you've been standing in front of cameras. It looks like you've been tweeting. It looks like you've been retweeting. It looks like you've been going back and forth with the media. It looks like you've been putting your energy and attention into everything but running. Diet is more than what you put in your body and what you do to your body. It's like where you're giving your attention. And
preach.
It is true. Like
that's a word.
Again,
hear that? Wait a minute. Listen, I'm a person of the church. We got to go back and we got to listen to it. Hear it.
It's true. It's absolutely true. A diet is more than what you put in your body and what you do to your body. And distractions will impact how you train. They absolutely impact how hard you go, what you eat, and how strict you are. If you're too busy trying to manage the press and you're used to eating 2 times a day at 12 o'clock and at 3 o'clock, and you're shifting that impacts how you practice and how you train, because now the diet that you're putting into your body can't be reflected in your performance because you're doing everything but the goddamn girl, get off the internet is what I'm trying to say. Sha'Carri, get off the internet. Sermon.
She's preaching not just to Sha'Carri, but to all of us. Let it just. Where do we take up the offering? Where do we send it?
No, there is no offering. I just want
throw money at your feet like the weird Christians do.
Like, I want her off the internet, and when this documentary comes out, she's going to be getting more attention, and I just want her to throw her phone out of a window. I want a good team of aunties around her, and I want her on the track practicing day and night, because there's another Olympics coming. It's 2022. The Olympics are in 2024, which means they picking people, and like 2023, like soon is what I'm saying. And I would actually like to see FloJo's record in time beaten in my lifetime, although I don't know if I'm going to see it happen. Like, I want it to be you who does it, girl. Get off the goddamn internet and
get off the internet.
Stop going back and forth with people. Like, I appreciate her spice and her attitude. And what I didn't like is when very pro-Black people, as soon as like Sha'Carri was herself, they were like, oh, she's too Black. She's ghetto. She doesn't know how to
respectability politics for me.
It's so annoying.
If we have to polish up to make sure that that we're a certain way for the white gaze, and that's deeply entrenched in us, and that's another episode we can have. But because I said we weren't going to go that deep,
right? But you either going to be pro-Black or you're not. Like, but the point of all of that is like, I want her laser focused on what she set out to do,
because we want her to win.
This goofiness about Celebrity Big Brother and people bringing up the things she said or the tweet she made, I don't want to see it. I want to see you getting those times down. Her teammate said she ran a 10.5 in practice. The record is a 10.49. It's beatable.
Girl.
You can do this.
Girl.
Get out. And I would, as a person who like loved the 96 Olympics, put me on track heavy. I love following these records. If you can run a 10.5 in practice, you can beat FloJo's record.
You got it. You can do this.
Go get it. I'll need somebody to go take her phone. But yeah, I
don't understand why she didn't have a social media manager.
The young people, social media is very much a part of their identity. It's, it's something we adapted to, but it's something that they've always, but it's something they've always had. It's like asking a human being not to have access to a regular telephone or a computer. It's just not asking someone to type on a typewriter. That's basically so I get that to an extent, but you got to figure out a way to focus. I need her to focus. I need you to get your shit together. So we can keep cheering for you.
Listen, because we are cheering for you. We are rooting for you. We are all rooting for you. How dare you?
Right. Right. I just had to get that off my heart because I saw it and I was like, oh,
I felt that. I'm glad you took the time, friend.
Cousin Kari. We're gonna transition one more time because I saw something fascinating and we can close out with this because we've been all over the place on this podcast today. So BuzzFeed had this thing going and it was things we did before COVID that we don't do anymore. Yes. So I started thinking to myself. I said, myself said, I was like, what don't we do anymore? And I have a short list and I want your short list. So I'm going to go ahead and start by saying, in the last 2 years, we're almost at the 2-year mark. We're a month and a half shy of 2 years of COVID. I can probably count on two hands the number of times I put on a bra that snaps in the back. I don't wear bras anymore. That's not a real thing.
COVID. Not ones with wire.
I don't think I've worn a wired bra more than 11 times this entire pandemic. I don't wear bras anymore because of COVID. Also, the idea of going to a buffet literally makes my elbows itch. Why was that ever a concept?
It'll never happen again. Do you hear me?
Why do we ever go to buffets? Why do we ever let other people season our food with their breath and their germs?
And we enjoyed them.
We did. Like it was a to-do. We were like, oh shit, the buffet. Yeah,
the buffet. Again.
Never again. Matching socks is also something that's not a real thing anymore.
See, that's a personal thing with me. Like I'm like, they have to match. Well, all right. So I bought Emmy like 40 pairs of socks by accident. I meant to buy 20. The accident
Oh,
is
okay.
accident. So she has a lot of socks. And so I'm constantly matching the socks because they're patterned. They have patterns on them. And so it's like one's a bear, like a little zebra, giraffe, like cute little baby patterns, right? So I have a thing about matching socks, but I've always had a thing about matching socks. Like they have to match size, shape. I don't care if the blacks have been like washed into like two different blacks. Like, no, I
Mm,
have to find a matching black for the black. That is,
okay. Okay.
it's a
There,
weird thing.
there are pills for that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure I need help. I'm sure that was a cry for help
No,
that you just heard.
no, it's quite all right. I salute you because matching socks is not even a thing for me anymore. Like it got to a point in the pandemic where I stopped folding and pairing my socks. Why am I folding and pairing my socks? I've been working from home for 2 years. Where am I going?
Where are we going?
Where am I going that I need matching socks? Also,
Where are
another
we
thing
going?
that I did before COVID that I don't do much anymore is care. I don't care. I stopped going
Period.
back and forth with people. I don't care about most things. Most things I struggle to care about. I swear to God, it's so hard to care in a pandemic. It is. I don't know. Is it just me? I tell me it's not just me. It's so hard.
Once a week, I have to go on mute and laugh because you said something ridiculous.
I'm serious.
You
I
said care and ended the sentence there. That was a full statement. Care.
care. Care. Like, girl, I don't care. I don't. People tell me things. I'd be like, I do not care. I
It depends on what
do.
we're talking about, but for the most 70% of the things, it's like,
Yeah. I mean, what do you want me to do about it? If I gotta go outside to do something about it, I'm not going to do it.
mm,
I can't care. I can't care.
outside is COVID-y.
It is. But how about you? What are the things that you don't do anymore? I know it's not just me.
So I think I failed you. Shake handshakes.
Oh, ew.
I
Yeah.
don't
What the
touch people no
hell?
more.
What is that? Yuck.
No, well, I'm not seeing anybody, so I don't have to handshake them. But um, yeah. Live life without my blue light glasses
Oh, okay.
because they're off right now. But um, because we're on screens all day, so I'm like, I live
All
in my blue
day.
light glasses. Do you know they have blue light skincare
I did. Why do they have?
because
Oh,
of
is
the
this so you can look a
radiation?
certain way? Oh my
No,
God.
it's because of the radiation from all the devices. Try to keep us young and vibrant and healthy looking.
So we
At
can stay in
least,
the house. Okay.
girl, I don't know. I heard it was a thing. I'm willing to try it. Shout out to any companies who want to send it our way. Please write us at. Let's see if I can get it right this week.
Yeah.
No, that's
No,
mine.
Jesus, Jesus Christ. It's the problematic pod at
I've already failed.
gmail.com.
I've already failed.
You're going to get it one day.
No, I'm never gonna get it.
Also, for our listeners, if you're still with us at this point after the depressing politics talk,
Sorry,
we are
guys.
going. I would actually like to add a segment called Story Time. We've done it once or twice before on this, but I'd like to make it a regular series. So if you got crazy, wild stories that you would like to share with us
I'm so
and
scared.
allow us to share on this podcast, we will maintain your
Anonymity.
Jesus.
Anonymity.
Yeah,
It's okay.
that
It's
part.
okay.
Write
Just
to
tell us
us.
what your gender is and your preferred name.
Yes, yes. And we
Pseudonym.
will share your story and maybe give you some problematic advice too, if we can. If not, but yeah, if you got a story to share that is ridiculous, or if you got a problematic person in your life that you would like to highlight and give a problematic award to, write us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from y'all.
All that. Please don't forget to follow us anywhere y'all stalk y'all exes. What?
I just called that.
What?
I was like, anywhere we start. What?
That's what they do. They stalk their exes. We'll have links to our various budding social media.
Yes.
Um,
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on all of those.
follow, and don't forget that
And
we have a YouTube.
yes, and reach out to us because we love hearing from y'all. Because
We
y'all are a
do.
mess. Y'all are the problematic people that we live for.
listen, we have a whole community of just problematic folk, and we're all just doing our best one day at
Yeah.
a time.
One day at a time with no bra on, mismatched
Mm-mm.
socks, and not giving a damn
No, we don't
at
care.
all.
Mm-mm.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.